attributed a little bit to the opponents that they faced before. So now we get a little bit more of an accurate feel of how powerful these two teams actually are, as the draft has already been ongoing for game number 1.
Let's see. Okay, Matilda, Louis, as well as Hilda been banned off from RRQ. On the side of Alter Ego, we got Joy, Zushin, as well as Fanny. Again, the popular ban off already. But going into the midst, I feel like started off with Suyo being picked out by Rakyoshi, and then Alter Ego responded with Harith as well as Hylos. That's a really good combo already. We know how in fact that when we have Hylos as well as Harith on the side, it will be a really good composer coming in. And not only that, they picked up Alpha as well for a really good damage deal. And Rakyoshi, on the other note, they do have Granger as well as the fact that Ranger is one of the popular end metas as well. That could also lead a really good choices coming in from RRQ Hoshi as well.
Yeah, so far the picks are pretty meta from both sides. It's interesting to see that RQ would still grab the Eve because Hylos actually offers a way to counteract the RWM somewhat because of the glorious pathway, but it still gives you a lot of control over the team fight in general, so it is not too bad at all. The Suyo Alpha has always been an age-old duel, but I do think that Harith has the slight edge in lane against Granger in exchange for less scaling potential overall. We're seeing a bit more focus towards the early game bans from Alter Ego, getting rid of the jaw hit, which could really mess with an Alpha and a Harith's rotations early on in the team fights. We already saw a combination of jaw hit and Zusin, I think in the first match of the entire challenge season, in fact, and it was quite impressive.
Okay, knowing for a fact that they're trying to take off all the possibility of picking off individually, because the fact is they are expecting Defin on the side of Harith as well as Alpha. There's a lot of grounds, even though we do see that they might be able to lock on, there's a lot of individual fights that they need to be aware of. So with Jawhead on the side, it's not going to be a good composition. And they also take off as well Cho in the scene. So this is where Alter Ego, they prioritize any possibility of separation will be done by RRQ Hoshi. Now RRQ Hoshi, they ticked off Lucas, and we talked about how Lucas, it's a 50-50 situation whereby he's a really good contender, but at the same time it might not go into a really good gameplay if we don't actually have a really good composure. But then we do see the last pick coming in from RRQ Hoshi to be banned off.
They ban out the Cecilion here, which is actually interesting. I wouldn't have expected Alter Ego to go for Cecilion in this particular situation, because then Harith and Cecilion would both be late game magic damage scalers. I don't feel like they needed to ban that, but it's still perfectly fine just to make sure that the only artillery on the field is going to be this Granger on RQ Hoshi's side. The fact that Alter Ego ban out the Jawhead and Show is very smart. It is not just because these two heroes are counters to their cores like Harith and Alpha, but they're also very good ways of dealing with the Hylos, because oftentimes the Hylos is going to be walking very far in front of the team to provide vision due to how bulky he is. But these two heroes have ways of just throwing him or kicking him back into their teammates instead and take him out before the rest of his team has any chance of responding. This, however, does give the Tigreal over to Edoc. This is a hero that both sides quite enjoy, and because they saw the Phobius lock in, the glue counter immediately comes out for RRQ. But Alter Ego, they haven't picked their mage yet. They can very easily go Faramis or Vexana at this point to counter the glue.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And the fact that rising off from RRQ Hoshi drafting-wise, I do feel like they're conforming to their own formularity with Triggle on the side, glue, mobility-wise, very sneaky, very easily able to maneuver away with a really great composure. Alter Ego, one way or the other, they have to figure out how to actually shut down most of the mobility-wise that will be put out by RRQ Hoshi. On the other side, I like the fact that they picked up Phobius as well. Phobius is also one of the crucial heroes that have been picked up as well. And you talked about Vexana. They picked up Vexana. Easier to actually grabs in with the first match off. So I think Alter Ego, right response-wise, RRQ Hoshi also had a really good idea as well. In your opinion, Sdafa, which of the drafting do you favor?
This is probably the most even draft that I've seen like throughout the whole challenge season. Actually, both sides are very honest, direct front-to-back siege-style compositions. Granger has a bit more range to play with, but Alter Ego is a bit better at diving. And neither side really directly wins out in scaling either. Maybe Granger ekes it out just a little bit in the late game because of how his stacks work. But otherwise, I think a lot of it comes down to how well the early game snowball actually happens for the respective junglers. And if we're talking about the junglers, Karin's actually equaled King Kong's KDA, who has been like topping the charts overall. So we can't just be focusing on what's happening in the jungle. The rest of the lanes have something to prove as well as we jump on into the Land of Dawn.
Let's see. Match number 2 right here. First round itself for the team of RRQ Hushi versus Alter Ego. Indonesia right on the line here. Who will be the first one to go into the qualifier of Challenge Finals? Now, looking on the side right now, it seems that both respectively using their potential to actually scout the area. We do see Rins pushing into Roundale, trying to actually hold them off from the territory as well. Ido also trying to find a way if they can actually try to go in and squeeze himself, but it's not going to be any case as we do see both sides are taking care of each other.
I have to point this out a little bit because it's very rare that this happens, but both teams have 3 Impure Rages, 1 Concussive Blast, and 1 Brave Spite. It's very, very unusual that we have the same 5 emblems on both sides, but of course, the actual emblem setups are a little bit different there. It's just a little bit of fun trivia. In terms of battle spells, it is of course going to be very different as well, with a heavier focus on Purify on Alter Ego just to deal with the Tigreal, and even a Sprint on Dyron because they want this glue to be running down the back line. Still has to be careful though. Vexana is a counter to glue for a reason, so Split cannot be used too willy-nilly.
Let's see. Right here, it seems that they're going to gang up straight away to Dyron. Stunning off immediately, Susujin also comes through. But at the same time, they're just going to deny any composure coming in from Alter Ego. Try to gang things up. Edok also denying as well. Trying to actually pull into Dreams as well as Gebe. But it seems that Alter Ego, the attempts was been failed or been challenged away from RRQ Hushi. So right now Turtle is in the side and they will be trying to actually contest it off. RWM been put out straight away and we do see right here immediately to be shut down by Gebe, and at the same time a lot of investment being put out by Susujin, able to take down the Turtle as well as getting the first blood as well. Nino on the rise here, try to push into Edok, but at the same time with the cause right here, Nino will be able to pull through to get Edok, but Susujin is on the rise. Darren takes down Dreams immediately and Susujin shuts down Nino.
RRQ Hushi definitely come out on top in that one. They get the turtle and they trade Edok for like 3 kills on the side of Alter Ego. So much better control over the team fight in general, but it was actually very, very scary, right? When they initially dived onto Alter Ego, they took a lot of burst damage from Roundel, but AE just didn't have enough follow-up damage after that to actually land the finishing blow, and that allowed RRQ to basically reset their cooldowns and re-enter the fight. In fact, Edok almost escaped if Nino didn't manage to just clip him on the edge of that dark wave. So it almost was a 0-4-3 and the turtle too. RQ are very good at taking these sort of team fights. Alter Ego needs to be a little bit more wary of it, even if they do have a tankier frontline.
Oh, coming in Dreams, and Glorious Pass been used up. Were denied in middle of the movement, and it seems like no matter what, they will not allow Dreams to back away. But at the same time, the Watt cost here with the trade-off as RRQ able to control the maneuver.
And now Sutsujin coming down to try and deal with highs. Retri comes out. Zaman Force used by the Harif. Sutsujin instantly has to dash out. Rins is coming in from the back line now to go for it. But Highs has beautifully maneuvered past 3 members of RRQ. He is the goal lane. He's the win condition for Alter Ego. And by avoiding a pickoff here, he's at least able to keep himself up to date with Toy's farm.
Oh, nice maneuver coming in. At least at the time, Heist was able to actually evade those, fight off of the gang. You do see Dyron clears out the minion. And it seems that Roundin and Nino would try to actually find a way if they want to actually go out. But it seems that they decided to focus more on the turtle. will be able to tease it out. Edoc's getting the info as well, and Rinse is ready. Glorious pass been put out. RWM also been set out, but at the same time, they locked on. And at the same time, right here, Alter Ego will be clear. Gabe takes down Edoc immediately and pushing him straight to the side of Gabe. Darren section down, and Dreams will be in the closer as well as getting the double kill. And right this in open, Nino had to pull away. So much damage been put out, but they are not allowing him. Mobilize straight away him, and Nino will be the one to be a casualty as well as RRQ gets the win.
RRQ is just so good at sustaining their way through these team fights. Tigreal and Glue are both very difficult to deal with, and Arins is able to maintain a very safe and solid distance to continuously dish out damage on this Eve. Even the mid lane forcing out the Zaman Force, and Highs almost dies to the poke from Toy. We're 5 minutes in, and RRQ has already built up a 3.6k gold lead. Things are not looking swell for them, especially when you consider that RRQ may have the slightly better late game scaling curve.
And looking at how RRQ is very persistent, try to turn things around, or even try to actually shut down Alter Ego. Nino pushing into Suzujin, Rounded also gonna try to turn things around as well to back things up, but doesn't able to do so as Suzujin managed to pull away. And here on out, Alter Ego still finding the opening to close it off.
RRQ are definitely maintaining control over the map a lot more effectively. This Glue doesn't get picked up too often, but is a very, very good counter pick towards Phobius in particular. And if the enemy team doesn't have good ways of punishing him, he just has such a strong presence. Multiple ultimates used in the mid lane to catch Rins, but a simple flicker just gets him out, and Alter Ego not able to be rewarded for their aggression anywhere on the map.
Oh, it seems that we do see that Team RRQ already clearing out the first level of top and bottom lane, and they're almost close enough for the mid as well. And here, Sushi seems that he is gonna go in for push out to Dreams, but RWM was invested right on the mid, going in all out to Roundel, managed to shut down by Dairen immediately. Now Gebe is in the scene of Dairen. He wants to go in all out, but the turret will deny his movement, only getting that one kill, but it's already enough for RRQ Hoshi to do so much damage.
We're seeing a reason why the Tigreal was prioritized by RRQ Hoshi, why it's a popular pick between both of these teams. They like these more default front to backs, and if you're able to punish people with that implosion timing, if you have a secondary front line that can buy you time and attention from the opponent so that you can delay the implosion, it is so easy to actually catch the opponents off guard. Especially since Alter Ego actually isn't a very high mobility composition. Their positions are going to be largely fixed within the teamfight itself, with the exception of Highs, which allows RRQ a bit more strategic thinking and how they want to approach every single engagement.
They are trying to clear out the first level of turrets as well as the second. Try to actually go all out for that second level. And Dairen also overlooking to round in on Nino. Try to find a way and allowing Edoc as well as the fact that Toy will be able to actually find a contempt for the territory. Almost there, and turrets number 2 on the level of top lane will be cleared out. And so far, RRQ for the pushing of the control-wise has been fruitful for their side, and Team Alter Ego still struggling not only to win those fights, also try to control the movement.
Things are going very, very smoothly right now for RRQ Hoshi. It's going exactly according to plan, exactly how you want to play the game of MLBB. I'd say this is a very textbook definition of how you're supposed to win the game, actually. It's a slow burn, but it's an effective one because they've already built up an 8k lead in 8 minutes. That's usually the phase where you expect it very difficult to make a comeback. Even the RWM by Rins just to force him back, maybe get a cheeky pick off if they can. Mind you, this whole time, Toy has not been disrupted on the Granger.
Oh, Glorious Pass has been put out, but he's not gonna be able to go anywhere. Every time he put out the Glorious Pass, it's just for him to escape, but denial been done by RRQ.
RRQ slowly denying every avenue of exit for Alter Ego. They literally cannot even play in their half of the map anymore. The base is the only safe spot left for them, as RRQ just keeps making their presence known. not allowing them to walk out to get farm. This is gonna even more heavily snowball the game in their favor. As even if they pull their cores over to take the Lord, Alter Ego can still only try to play together, and they're not going to be able to easily pick off Edok or Dyron anytime soon. I would say the game is already basically GG unless Alter Ego can make some kind of miracle happen.
Miracles, and also possibly with RRQ, if one slip will be done, maybe possibility if Alter Ego saw that opening, they can actually change it off and get the fruitful they needed or success on their side. But then again, it's not gonna be easy. They need to find the pinpoint. At least denying the movement of Direct, or even the fact that we do see that Toy moving in and out as easily as possible is giving a lot of the mobility-wise control coming in from from the side of Team RRQ, and Alter Ego haven't found that point itself. But Toy, look at that, giving a lot of damage coming in from Gebe, just enough, and he already spotted out Edo, also looking for an opportunity for that implosion, but at the same time, they are clearing out the turret as well, doing a lot of damage. But Team Alter Ego very cautious, trying to be disciplined, denying any of the opportunity. But Glorious Pass been invested already. Dreams a little bit too ambitious, but at the same time, Gebe will be taken out by Sujin right at the top. And right here, Zamafu has been put out. RWM will be taken out. High stakes down Edo as well as Sujin, making sure clearing out as well. And you do see Riz getting those double kills, but it's clearing out the team of Alter Ego. None things can be done as they able to shut down the first round into the hands of RRQ Hoshi.
A very straightforward victory for RRQ.